scenarios. The aim of this presentation is to explain how to design personas and scenario and the reason why are important for the development of an interactive project in the museum context. The objective is to provide some fundamental tools like designing personas and scenario to synthesize findings after the research phase. At the end of this presentation, you should be able to explain why personas are so important. The term and keywords you will learn are personas, scenarios, and user needs. Personas. Personas as a useful tool used by user experience designer to represent user behavior, habits, and personas are user archetypes that match the different user categories found while doing user research. Personas represents a variety of users by using specific types of individual with specific needs and behaviors. Why are personas so useful? Every persona is a character that helps you to empathize with your user, considering also qualitative and subtle aspects as age, sex, needs, pain points, attitudes, behavior, etc. Personas can help you to determine how a product or service should work and behave, to build commitment and communicate your design in an easy way, and to measure your design effectiveness by testing it on a personas in the same way you would show it to your real users. The key element of personas. User research helps you to serve and understand your target users in order to make your design more effective. So, research must be based on real-world observation and can be achieved with several tools, but how we do use user research findings? Our goal in constructing personas is to represent observer data about user behaviors, attitudes, mental model, activity flows, and frustration with current products, services, or system. The principal steps are to identify behavioral variables, to map interview subject to behavioral variables, to identify significant behavior patterns, synthesize general characteristics, and define user's goal and behavior details. So general characteristics help you to have an idea of your persona. From the age and the work, you can guess the confidence in using new technologies, but you can have also some elements of the personality that helps to imagine the behavior and the attitudes. As example, you can use a name to identify your persona. You can use a name that tells something about him or her. As an example, the name Donald Duck in the Disney universe tells us that Donald indeed is a duck. Age and sex are useful to match with more general demographic clusters. It can be useful to add other physical characteristics like disabilities or special needs. The main characteristics can be summarized in a brief text describing the character. As an example, we can tell that John School is a teacher that works in a school and wants to propose new activities to his students. Goals and behavior details are important because understanding personas is mostly about understanding their motivations and goals. Goals and behaviors can be identified by observing action and by analyzing subject responses to goal-oriented interviews. So, we can point out their experience goals, how they want to feel, the end goal, what is the final objective and the motivation, what the user wants to do, and life goal, long-term aspiration, eventually connected with the object of the research, and that is related to what the user wants to be. Then we can outline pain points, what makes him or her feel bad. We can outline the sweet spots, what makes him or her feels happy, and behavior, how often he or she does something and why, and competencies, the level of ability with some technology and cultural level of the user. Then consider behavior variables. Identify group behaviors revealed during user research by focusing on these variables. Activities, what the user does and how frequently. Attitudes, how the user thinks about the product domain and technologies. Aptitudes, what education and capability to learn the user has. Motivation, why the user is engaged in the product domain. And skills, so user capabilities related to the product domain and technology. Some tips. In some contexts, behavioral variables are closely related to job roles. Examine but do not prioritize demographic data such as age, location, and so on. You can map subjects to behavior variables. So you can use a visual representation to map each interviewee against each variable that you have identified. Some tips to represent personas are making a card for each persona, including a picture or a sketch of your user, and to empathize with your user and highlight goals and characteristics that matter in your project. So here you can see an example of a persona card, and you can use this format to build your personas. As you can see, the picture, the name, age, sex, a short bio, the end goal, life goal, pain points, sweet points, and some outlook in competencies like user computer, personal use 8 and work 7 with other cues like use of social media and so on. Other tips to represent personas. You should synthesize information as they should be easy to read, so avoid the long text, use visual cues and graphical representation, for example with scores representing some parameters that allows you to compare different kinds of users. This presentation was about how to design personas and scenario and the reason why they are so important for the development of an interactive project in the museum context. Now that you finished watching it, you should be able to explain why personas are so important.